My course week begins promptly at 12:01 a.m. on Mondays. I'm usually asleep at that time, especially if I had worked on the weekend or used the weekend to prepare for an upcoming examination. After a good night's sleep, I'm ready for the new week and a new learning opportunity. I grab a cup of coffee while reviewing my schedule book and making my daily to-do list. Then I turn on the computer and go to my online course. My professor posted an announcement. I read it, take a sip of coffee, and click on this week's lesson. I skim all sections of this week's lesson: learning activities, readings, discussions, assignments, quizzes. If I have any questions, I post them to the Ask the Class area. Then I add this week's activities to my to-do list. I make sure to schedule time throughout the week to do my reading, to write my discussion postings, to respond to my classmates, to complete other assignments, and to review the work for the week. Time for breakfast, so I log off of my course site. In the early afternoon, I plan some time to do this week's textbook reading and to outline the content. Then I'm off to another class. After dinner, I review my chapter notes and look over the assigned articles for the week. This is a very complex article, and I'm too tired to read it. I decide to catch an hour of television before calling it a night. I have found I concentrate better in the early morning, so I get up early on Tuesday and spend an hour with that article from last night. I underline key thoughts and take some notes. Now I change my focus and spend an hour preparing for another course. While eating lunch, I review the article again. It is the focus of this week's discussion, so I start outlining my response. I also spend about 15 minutes to review my notes on the textbook chapter to prepare for the quiz at the end of the week. Time to put the books away, and I'm off to my job as a trainer at the fitness center. When I get home in the evening, I write my discussion posting and log on to my course site to post it. I'm the first poster. I'll need to wait for others to complete their assignments so I can respond to 3 classmates before the deadline on Saturday night. While on the course site, I see the instructor posted the grades to last week's assignment. I read the feedback in my gradebook. It helps me on future assignments. I spend an hour working on a different course, take a relaxing bath, and it's off to bed. I can't believe it's already the middle of the week. I take my cup of coffee and laptop out on the balcony to enjoy the beautiful morning weather. I log on to my course and visit the discussion board for this week. There are a number of postings. I read them and respond. Even after I have posted the required number of responses, I keep going because I enjoy the discourse with the other students. Before I know it, an hour has passed. Time for breakfast, and then off to my other activities for the day. This evening I need to work on a project for another course. I have a big presentation in my on-campus course today, so I don't check my online course. After the presentations, my friends and I have plans to go to lunch to celebrate, we hope. I finally get home about 4 p.m. I need to do some laundry before dinner. It's been a long day. After a short walk, I review my notes from the reading and reread this week's article. Then I log on to the course site. There's a new announcement. This week's quiz will be available beginning at 9 a.m. on Friday until noon on Sunday. I decide that I will take it on Friday so that my weekend is clear. I go to the discussion area, but I am bleary-eyed and tired. So I close my book, shut down the computer, and turn on the TV. I treat myself to some ice cream and go to bed. Friday morning, I wake up early and refreshed. It's another beautiful morning, so with a cup of coffee and my laptop, I head back to the balcony and check my course for messages and continue reading my classmates' postings to the discussion and post more responses. This can become addicting, so I watch the clock so I don't lose track of the time. I have a lot on my to-do list to do for today. Between my classes on campus and my hours at work, I plan some library time to do a final review of this week's reading and my notes in preparation for the quiz. After dinner, I post a sign on the door so I won't be disturbed, and I log on to my course. Click on this week's module and find the quiz. I open the quiz and answer each question before going on to the next one. When I am finished, I click Submit. Then I go to my gradebook to see how I did. Wow, I did well. The time I spent reviewing that article really paid off. I take time to review all sections of this week's module again to make sure I have completed everything. I check the discussion board one more time, but there's nothing new to comment on. It's 9 p.m. on Friday night, and my work for this week is done. I turn off the computer, relieved to know that I have completed my work early this week, and I look forward to having the weekend free. The phone rings. It's a friend asking if we want to go to the midnight movie. Great idea. On Saturday, I sleep in and spend the rest of the day at the beach with friends, relaxing and catching up. We have a nice dinner and then return home. Later in the evening, I log on to my course just to see if there are any new announcements or if there are any interesting posts to the discussion board. No announcements, but someone made an interesting comment on the discussion, so I respond. That brings my total posts of the week to 7, which surpasses the requirement. I shut down the computer and resolve not to open it again until the new module opens on Monday morning. I have great plans for Sunday: brunch, a trip to the museum, and some time to relax. I really enjoy having a day free from coursework, so I have become very diligent at scheduling my course responsibilities so I can complete all my assignments by Saturday at the latest. Even for long assignments like research papers, I try to work on various elements well ahead of time so there's no last-minute rush. True, there's an occasional Sunday when I scramble to finish an assignment, but I really try to manage my time so I can take it as my day off. After a great weekend, I go to bed early and dream of the wonderful things I will be learning in the module that will open again promptly at 12:01 a.m. I wake up refreshed and ready to face another week. Time to get back to work.